With every step you take, with every rep you do, you get better. But it's not just about the amount of times you do something. It's the time you've been doing it and the time you've been meditating and thinking about it. These clips show over only a short period of time how much improvement you can have over yourself when you train. It's an evolution, but not a fast one. Don't rush it. Learn things on your own. But don't be afraid to reach out to others for help.
Howdy guys, coming from y'all in the field. Figured I'd bring y'all something, try to keep the momentum going ever since that Magpul shit post I made. So this Christmas I decided that I needed a new rucksack. The Alice medium wasn't really cutting it for me. I inherited that from a distant relative who used it in service. So that went from there to I need something that works better with my current belt kit, which is playing right there, the Nixie Works LFR. And what I settled upon was I took some inspiration from Meyer Flyer, and as well as I looked into it a little bit myself. The Alice medium worked well, but I didn't like the outside frame. I kind of wanted something just a little bit bigger as well, but with an internal frame, because that whole metal, debacle on the outside was really getting on my nerves. So without further ado, the Helikon Matilda. So the pack itself, it's got some really good features. As I said, it's what I would think of when I think of a modern equivalent of the Alice pack, in my opinion. The reason why, mainly, is because of this upper deck right here. But besides that, let me get this out of the way. These three little guys right here. I still got the tag on. Usually I wait for it to wear off in the field. Inevitably it does. And then with that as well, when you look on the back here, you get that kidney strap, and as well as this isn't on the original Alice, but it's really good change. But the reason why I quite enjoy it is because it just reminds me of that old Alice. I'm not gonna wait for it to wear off. Is because it reminds me of that old Alice profile, so I don't really need to adapt. I can repack it pretty much the same way I was. Just I got a little bit of extra room in there to stow stuff. So let's go with the features that we have here. Obviously you have your 3 pockets. Here they have retention straps going for them, which is really nice if you have anything you really need to keep dry. Up at the top pouch here, which I've dubbed the back on my Alice pack, the skivvy drawer. Let me see here. You got your little zipper that you can store smaller items in. On the inside here, you have a nice little zipper right here that you can store. For me, I store extra socks and underwear in it. Then after that, you have your internal main pack. So that's about all the features that I'd argue you have, besides there's a little molly inside. So let me get y'all a pack spread real quick and show y'all what we got here. So here's my pack all laid out. I have a relatively light load of what I carry. Of course, compared to some people, it's a little bit heavy. I honestly think I need to do a mix of bulking up a little bit more so I can carry or make it just more comfortable, personally. But yeah, a lot of people would say this is heavy. I think this is light. But what I have here, of course, we have our first layer, which is the most important for me, at least, comfort-wise. Your sleep system. I have USMC bivy, and then under it I have the I'm not going to go in there right now. I have the tan leather bag, the mediocre leather bag. Besides that, in terms of food, I have some crackers and some stuff to munch on, and then besides that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 MRE mains. The estimate for me is, if I'm running regularly, about after I run out of the stuff in my butt pack, it's going to be two a day. If it's a dire situation, I can obviously go to 1 a day. It's not a big deal. I have an extra 2 canteens. These are my old canteens. I replaced one of them with an Nalgene, and then these 2 are, one of them civilian and one of them is surplus from back when my dad was in the Marines. This right here, I have 1, 2. I just have a spare uniform set, just in case one gets wet. You don't want to go to bed in your wet clothes, but you also don't want to go to bed naked, because you really don't want to have to repack everything naked and shit. You know, that's a nice way to end up dying of hypothermia in the cold. I mean, I guess if you're in the summer running around the woods naked would be pretty fun, but you know, not really my forte. Besides that, over here we have my Gore-Tex top. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like it that much, on the account that it becomes an oven, man. I tell you what, like in the winter it's nice, but in the summer I'd rather just keep wet and then, as I said, change clothes. Besides that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 pairs of underwear. I have an extra pair of socks, which I have more in my butt pack, which I've just put in there. And then I have 2 undershirts, and then a waterproof little really just a sealed container, not really waterproof, although it is, container if I was to need something like to put documents in or anything that's like weather tight, you know, in an emergency. I could always put money in here, just stuff like that. Extra water filtration. I could throw this in my smock and call it a day from there. But besides that, yeah, it's my pack load. So my main complaint right now about the system is they're really not padded. They'll dig into your shoulders and stuff. They'll dig into your neck. That's been my biggest issue so far with the system in general. Just that. But besides that, I'd argue it's bomb-proof enough material. Like I've dragged it. When I first got it, I threw it into under some wire, crawled under some wire with it. Not like barbed wire or anything, but it was enough that, like, if you had some thin clothing on, it would have shredded. I really, really enjoy it because of it's that mix between large and medium that is like the just right area, in my opinion. It's given me enough to say I can throw my sustainment out just a little bit further than I could with my Alice medium, but at the same time, it's not large enough where it was my ILBE, which was massive and really didn't. It was too massive in a way. I don't really have a lot to throw in a rucksack, and that's intentional, so that way I can once again stay lightweight and move, so I can move both faster and I can move more comfortable. But the overall consensus with it so far is that I really like it. But there were alternatives that I was looking at. I saw a lot of people who are running the LFR use specifically stuff like assault packs, from what I saw, which seemed like a really I saw a lot of people using assault packs, which seemed like a really, really good alternative. And then they would throw in a lot more sustainment into their butt pack, but at the same time, I kind of realized I still need more. and I wanted to keep my combat load a little bit more light so I can throw extra water on there. I can throw extra food in there. I can throw extra ammo. You know, stuff that pertains to, 3-day patrols. But besides that, what I really was looking into specifically, I can't really think of brands. Can't remember them off the top of my head because I don't care about brands. If it's good product. It's good product. But yeah, there was a lot that I was looking into with it, but I ended up realizing, as I said earlier, I needed something a little bit more light. Or not light. I needed something a little bit more heavy so I could divide that load in between my butt pack and in between my rucksack, and I came up with that. It's just I obviously saw other people running it and thought it was a good idea. I got my ideas from them, Meyer. There's a relatively old dude out there called Corporal's Corner who did a review on it. That's where I first saw it, and I was like, wow, it seems like it'll do some good for me. But overall, I think that this is going to be it's going to be a good pack. I can't wait to get some overnighters done in it. I've been really meaning to get out here and do more of those. Mainly because I just like sleeping outside. It's peaceful, especially this time of year. It's 35 at night, and that's about the sweet spot for me. I really like it when you bundle up in your bivvy in that weather. But yeah, I quite enjoy this. Obviously, let me know some places where I can improve on my pack load. I'm gonna get a little bit of extra cash here soon. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more kit to help myself improve, help sustain myself just a little bit more. One of those are gonna be either replacing MREs for more not sustainable but lighter weight, more high net calorie food, or I'm gonna try my own thing. I'm gonna try dehydrating some food because I got a dehydrator, but I can't really figure out how to make it shelf stable in the field. Yeah, y'all just let me know what I got. Y'all have a good rest of your day.